What is your perspective, being the owner of a production company, on the effectiveness of UGC? We don't need to talk about is UGC dead, but where do you see UGC living in a brand's library versus AGC versus, maybe working with a studio or a more like experienced producer that's been in kind of traditional content production? What's your take on that?
Yeah, great question. And for people to have context, like just quickly on our process, so you know where I'm coming from, which is Goodo Studios, when we are creating content, we will shoot everything in-house, which is very different than probably a lot of other providers who will essentially kind of broker between creators and brands, and that broker also does the creative strategy and takes care of the creators, gets the content, sends it to the brand. What we are doing is we are doing the creative strategy. We're ideating everything, but we will use actors. We will shoot with cinema cameras as well as iPhones, and depending on the brand, depending on the needs, and then we actually will edit everything and then send to the brand. So why I say that is because my view on all of this is that it's not really black or white, right? It's not like, oh, UGC is working or not working, or you should have actor generated content. To me, I just think every brand needs to create the content that's going to work for them, and that's going to look very different. So if have a really high-end product, yeah, I think UGC can work for them, but also like, is that the visual brand? Is that the thing that you want your brand to be represented by? Yes, like it's quote unquote more organic, this and that. But I think that like you also have to take a long-term view of what you want your ads and what you want your brand to represent, and how you want customers to connect with that visual story, brand story over a long period of time, not just to get a really good ROAS right now. I think that's the biggest thing that is missed in these conversations. So I hate to be like, it depends, because it really does, based off of so many other factors. I think that brands, before they're going after getting UGC, actor generated content, high-end, lo-fi, whatever it is, they actually need to take more time to sit down and think about what they want their brand to represent over the next 5 to 10 years. And can we take bets on the ads that we create that correlate with that experience that you want to give the customers? There are some really great brands that are crushing it with high-end stuff, and there's also really great brands that are crushing it with lo-fi stuff. And so I think there's not like you have to do one or the other. I think you just have to choose the route that you want to go, and then from there use the data to then say, how am I going to optimize this and figure out how do I use this style to work for you?